I need you to pay attention.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
You've made it your mission in life to downplay me as much as possible. Why would my own son do that?
It's a strange world.
Jeff Lutz.
Yeah, I'm disgusted by, they want to know about me.
Me likey.
I do this show daily with someone who's frankly not too entertaining.
There you go again, Mr. Humble.
I can feel the love.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Stand by for action.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2, the Bob and Jeff Show here on KFH Radio. Bob Lutz, Jeff Lutz, co-hosting, Max Power, producing and engineering. Our IHOP hotline is up and running, 869-1240. If you'd like to give us a call. Chiefs coming off a loss yesterday at Buffalo. Not that surprising, although several of us picked the Chiefs. I don't know.
We wanted to.
In hindsight, I don't know why.
Because they hadn't lost yet. They'd won all these games.
You never question yourself. And that's why there's very little growth. I question myself.
Yeah, I never.
And
Who are you talking to, man?
What do you mean?
Who are you talking to?
You.
I'm not going to sit here and apologize for the way I picked. It's in ink. It's in stone. I picked it. I thought it was reasonable to believe that the Chiefs would win.
Well, given the game, while it may have been reasonable, the Chiefs got a lot of issues for a one-loss team. They can't protect their quarterback, who was. Remember in the good old days when nobody laid a finger on Patrick Mahomes?
Well, even if
nobody got close to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Those days are over.
And
this offensive line cannot protect him. And they don't do a very good job run blocking either.
Kareem Hunt runs
What are they
going
to do?
I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to go with the personnel that they have. Coach them up, I guess. Get that guy from BYU who's played a lot of left tackle now. See if he can get better as he earns more reps.
They got problems all along that line.
I know.
Their secondary's faded. Now I know you give Buffalo a lot of credit, but that's another team that you didn't know any of these wide receivers. Amari Cooper, they got in a trade deadline deal.
But they have Josh Allen, and he's a better passer right now than Patrick Mahomes is. Is that fair to say? I don't know. When it came out of my mouth, I was like, oh, now I do question it. But I said it, so there you go.
Josh Allen can beat Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. Can't beat him in the playoffs. And until he gets over that hurdle, I don't think you can say what you just said.
And that game is still scheduled right now. It's going to be played in Kansas City. They need to lose once more, and Buffalo needs to run the table for that to be any different, and we'll see if that happens.
Well, Kansas City has a couple games they could lose, but more than a couple. Frankly, I mean,
more than a couple?
Yeah, they're 9-1.
You think they could lose 3 more games?
I think they could, and here are the games I'm worried about for them. Chargers at home, Houston at home, at Pittsburgh, at Denver. That's 4 games that could be problematic the way the Chiefs are currently playing.
Could be. But I don't know. They're 9-1.
That's all I'm saying.
They're 9-1.
They're still good. I'm not saying they're not going to. I'm not even saying they're still not the favorite to win it all. I'm just saying that
Detroit is the betting favorite to win it all.
I don't see them turning it on the way they did in the playoffs last year.
Why not?
Because they don't have the offensive line to do that.
They were missing a lot of pieces. Not missing, but they were just short. You have receivers. They make it work. I have no. Just talk to me in January, basically.
Getting Isaiah Pacheco back will be huge. They need his fire and tenacity. Kareem Hunt's fine. Kareem Hunt's done exactly what they needed him to do.
I think he's good.
You would argue that they should ask him to do more. You know, he only had 14 carries yesterday. Maybe they should have depended more on him.
I don't know.
Kelsey was not a big factor in the game yesterday.
Not a factor at all.
Worthy was, but then he caught a ball out of bounds. It shouldn't have. First of all, wasn't a great. It was thrown too close to the sideline.
Tough angle.
But he didn't show any ability or awareness to try to get both feet in.
Things happen.
I don't buy
he's a
that
rookie.
theory. I don't go with the things happen theory. I'm critical.
So everybody has to be perfect.
No, I'm saying that was a big play in the game.
He produced a big play in the game. He was one of their best weapons, if not the best weapon yesterday in that game.
Sure he was, but catch the ball and get your feet down.
Okay, you go do it.
That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. You go do it.
No, it's not a matter of me being able to do it.
Well, if you're going to criticize somebody, you should.
Oh, I can't.
You should know.
I can't criticize somebody unless I have the ability
No,
to
that's
do
not
it.
what I'm saying. I'm saying unless you know exactly how difficult it is, then maybe that shouldn't be your first. Your first instinct would be to just. It's a tough
My
play.
first instinct is to say that ball's got to be caught and both feet have to get in.
Okay.
That's my first instinct. It's still my instinct today.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's just easy then.
You can point to Patrick Mahomes and say maybe he got it to him a tad late. I'll listen to that, but he got it to him in time for Worthy to get his feet down.
All right.
Don't argue with me on that.
I'm arguing.
I know what I'm talking about. So the Chiefs have basically a bye week this week against Carolina and another bye week against the Vegas Raiders. By the way, where's Cap?
Call him.
Is it time?
It's
How do
what do you
these
mean?
people-
Is it time? Nothing has changed.
How do these people, these soft people, and you heard me, the Shannon Greats and the Raider
Oh,
Nates
but it's not soft to quit.
and the Anthony Capras, how do they put up with this year after year?
What's soft about it?
Soft.
What?
You go to a team that wins for you.
You like who you like. Hey, just stop. Not everyone jumps off like you do.
Like I have. Who have I got?
You never really.
Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Well, I like them. Can I like them?
The only reason you like them is because they're winning.
They're entertaining.
You wouldn't care about them.
They remind me of the greatest show on turf. They have all
How?
these. Do you see the points they put
Yeah,
up?
they put up a lot of points, but they run the ball. They don't have.
The greatest show on turf had a guy named Marshall.
Yeah, he
Faulk,
caught the ball.
who ran the ball.
Okay, is Jahmyr Gibbs going to get 110
Do
receptions?
you understand that Marshall Faulk was a running
It's a
back?
different type of offense. They have one
Do you know
really
that they
elite
throw
receiver.
the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs quite often too?
He's not Marshall Faulk.
I didn't say he was.
Okay, so it's
There
different.
are very few Marshall Faulks
My
out there.
point.
But do you understand did you watch the Rams?
No, never did. Missed it.
No, I mean it. Did you
No.
watch them?
Of course not.
Well, but you don't watch that much. I don't know if you got caught up in them at all.
Of course I did. And they were better than this team. Is that rain?
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
It is pouring. We are having the wettest November on record. And we're going to get upwards of 3 inches in this one today and tonight.
Is that it for November?
It looks like it, looking at the future radar. This is something you ought to know. You're around
I'm the one who put it out today that we had the wettest November on
meteorologists
record.
all day long.
1909, the record previous.
But we still need, 20 million gallons to get Cheney back?
Something like 8.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't understand the drought.
I don't think anybody does. Why do we have to still practice water restrictions? We're surrounded by water.
We need an explanation of things that we're not getting. And I think we all want to
and
know
it
a
can't
little
come
bit more.
from a political. I want to hear an expert. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a rain guy.
Well, why don't we get one on this show?
Okay, I'll get Jake Dunn on the show.
No, not him.
What do you mean?
He's got a vested interest.
What is his
He's
vested?
pro-rain.
He is.
I want somebody who can give it to us down the middle.
Why do you think he's pro rain? What does that even
doesn't
mean?
Don't you get more viewers when it rains?
Does that mean he controls whether it rains?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that in his world, he's a Rain fan.
What does that have to do with
Much
anything?
like I'm a Lions fan.
Yeah, we know.
You wake up in the morning as a weather person, and you've got some weather to talk about. You're a fan of that.
No, everybody watches the weather. Why do you think we have 14 meteorologists? or
You
whatever?
wake up on a Monday morning and it's
I don't like your
sunny and
demeanor
cool. You don't-
today.
huh?
I don't like your demeanor today. I came in
What day
kind of.
do you like my
I kind of
demeanor?
came in pretty chill, just ready to roll with the punches, and I got a guy just steamrolling again, and I got to put up this fight
You
that I
couldn't-
didn't want to put up.
You couldn't give me a bigger compliment.
I'm sure I couldn't. What was I about to look up? The rain, something?
I got you so rattled you don't know what
I'm
you're
not
doing.
rattled. I'm
Look
irritated.
at you. Your thumb's trembling.
My thumb always trembles, probably.
You're trying to look up something on your phone and you can't do it because you're shaking.
Yeah, I'm deathly afraid.
I don't get it.
Just let me go back to my chill nature.
Well, you didn't have any energy.
No, I was just
What
chill.
I do is energize people.
But I need you to relax.
No, why would I do that?
I just need you to.
For what reason?
Just because. Just for the good of today. Just for the
What happened?
The greater
what was
good.
what happened over the weekend?
Nothing
what,
really.
What brought you down?
Nothing really. I'll tell you later, maybe.
There's always something. Why do you try to deny
We had
it?
a cat show up.
Here we go. Here it is.
No, this kind.
This is it.
Nah.
We had a cat show up.
Yeah, it's in our shed now.
Okay.
I don't know what we're gonna. I don't know if it belongs to somebody. I don't know who. I don't know what
And
it
that's
is.
what's got you. I get that.
It's a little. I mean, it's not.
No, I understand that. I understand that. But you live out there where that can't be that rare.
For
Does it have a chip?
that's what we're gonna try to find out.
But it's in your shed right now.
Yeah.
How old of a
Didn't
cat
want it.
does
Didn't
appear
want it
to
out
be?
in the elements. Didn't want it exposed to predators. If you know,
How old of a cat does it appear to be?
youngish, probably
Is it-
not fully grown.
Is it social?
Very, which makes me think maybe it belongs to somebody, which is a whole nother stress in its own. And then we got to give it back.
So there you go. That's what we've gotten to the bottom of. What do you
Maybe.
mean?
Maybe.
That's what's bothering you.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, there you go. I should be a therapist.
Yeah, but no,
What's the job of a therapist?
I don't know.
To
Do you know?
make reluctant people willing to share their most personal feelings.
Yeah, but I would have shared that anyway. But if you want to feel
Well,
good about,
is there something else?
I don't know. Not really.
Why not just air it all out?
No, absolutely not.
What's the other thing that's on your mind? Is it serious?
No, it's not serious
Does
at
it
all.
involve a cat?
No,
Does it involve a job?
sorta.
Uh-oh.
But it's not. It's nothing. Don't even worry
Does
about
it
it.
involve the Joe Hour feature?
No.
What does it involve?
You'll be mad at me, so we'll talk about it off the air.
Good. We'll talk about it off the air. I just don't like this hemming and hawing stuff.
There's no hemming and hawing.
You got more issues than Newsweek, as they used to say.
As a newsstand. Newsweek.
No, Newsweek has a lot of issues.
Newsweek, I think, is out of
Check
publication.
Check out how many issues Newsweek published.
I would, but I can't get any signal in this barn that we're in.
Newsweek put out a magazine a week for many, many years, right?
I don't know.
And it worked. My analogy worked. You got more issues than Newsweek. So anyway, the Chiefs have 2 games
I'm trying
they'll
to
win.
figure out.
They'll get to 11-1. Are we in agreement on that?
Yes.
There is no threat whatsoever from Carolina or Vegas.
You wouldn't think.
Then the Chargers come in. Interesting game
They
because
always beat the Chargers.
they're getting
though.
better. Yeah, but not Jim Harbaugh.
Everybody. Anybody they've
Then
brought-
they go to
brought in.
Cleveland. That's a game they can roll over and play dead in and still win. Then they finish the season with Houston at home, Pittsburgh and Denver on the road.
It's not easy.
Not an easy schedule left for the Chiefs, other than the easy teams they play. They've
Yeah.
got you can bank 3 wins.
What was the other one?
12-1 without even suiting up. Carolina, Vegas, Cleveland.
Poor Cleveland.
But the other four,
Chargers,
Chargers, Texans, Steelers, Broncos, 2-2 is my guess. So that gets them to what?
14 and 3.
14 and 3.
It's pretty good. I don't know that they'll lose 2, but they might.
14 and 3 is what that gets them to. Meanwhile,
Pittsburgh's a pretty good matchup for them.
you've got Buffalo, who has lost 2 games this year. They're 9 and 2. They have San Francisco at home. 49ers aren't doing much right now. At the Rams, always tough. The Rams are flaky. At Detroit, tough game. New England, the Jets, and New England. That's their final 3. That's JV games.
They should be winning those games.
If they beat San Francisco this week at home, they will have a better record going into the playoffs than the Chiefs.
Could happen.
You heard it right here, ladies and gentlemen.
And they'd be the 1 seed.
Actually, they'd have maybe the same record. But wouldn't Buffalo get the tiebreaker?
Yeah, if head-to-head's first tiebreaker as far as I know.
So that's what I'm saying.
You think any AFC championship game between Buffalo and Kansas City will be played in Buffalo?
That's how I see it right now. Now,
Chiefs went in there last year and won, and they won at Baltimore.
well, sure. Then I'm not saying it's not possible.
I want to see that game. I'd rather it be in Buffalo again.
And
They won
here's-
it off of a missed kick.
Here's what the Steelers have left. Cleveland at Cincinnati, Cleveland again, at Philadelphia, at Baltimore, Kansas City, Cincinnati. No, sir. It's Buffalo and Kansas City playing for the 1 seed.
Yeah, yesterday was Pittsburgh's first division game of the year, and they won it. They're 1-0 in their division.
Now, should I go ahead and look up the Chargers just in case?
I wish you would.
You wouldn't think
I
so.
don't think you need to. Let's talk about something else.
Baltimore, Atlanta, Kansas City, Tampa, Denver, New England, Vegas. Not a tough schedule. Baltimore certainly difficult. At Atlanta, at Kansas City. They're no threat. It's Buffalo or Kansas City, ladies and gentlemen.
Probably.
You like the way I kind
Or
of broke
Pittsburgh.
Do you like the way I kind of broke that down?
Where do you think Pittsburgh trips up?
I think they have
Kansas City, but you think
I think they have several opportunities to trip up. First of all, they'll win at Cleveland. Then they go to Cincinnati. Nothing for sure there. At home against Cleveland. Then at Philadelphia, at Baltimore, at home against Kansas City.
yeah, that's a problem.
A lot of trip ups.
Could be. Or they'll just keep doing what they're doing.
A lot of trip ups.
Taking every team out of what they do.
We'll see, but I don't see them in the discussion.
They're in the discussion.
Not in my discussion.
Based on what they've done and what they can do.
You can't force me to discuss.
When you have that good of a defense, you said it yourself. They've got to be in the discussion.
I don't like their schedule. Don't like it.
Well, we'll see what happens in the playoffs.
They still got to play the Bengals twice. They got to play the Eagles and the Kansas City. Tough. All right, we'll take a break, come back, continue the discussion, maybe get into a little college football. We've got one of the most intriguing games in a long time coming up Saturday, and I'll tell you about it next.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show.
The IHOP hotline, 869-1240. Brought to you by IHOP. It's the official breakfast partner of Xbox. So I alluded to a game that is right at the top of the list this year in college football, one that has never been there before. Do you have a guess as to what that is?
Indiana, Ohio State.
There you go.
Yeah. That feels,
In Columbus.
That feels a little Andale Cheney-ish to me.
Well, don't you kind of hope Indiana can – now their coach just signed a big, long extension for a lot of money. Indiana's never been in this spot before. Don't you kind of hope they pull it off?
I don't know that they're going to pull it off, but I would like to see a competitive game.
I kind of hope they pull it off.
Indiana hasn't beaten anybody, so we don't really even know.
Well, now wait a doggone minute before you start doing that stuff. The anybody's you're speaking of might disagree with you.
I doubt it, but you can certainly.
Well, I don't like it when you just blanket.
You can certainly check.
I don't like it when you just blanket statement something.
Okay, well, they're undefeated, but they're the third-ranked team in the college football playoff in their own conference. And yes, I get Oregon is undefeated too, but they have a win over Ohio State and Boise State, which looks a lot better every week because Boise State's probably going to be in the playoff also.
Boise State's pretty good. Why am I struggling to get my internet to work here?
Because there's a bad signal in here. Are you connected?
No, I get it. My signal works just fine. We're here at the Rudd Center.
Is the college
Indiana 7-0 in the conference, 10-0 overall. Oregon 8-0, 11-0 in the Big Ten. Ohio State 6-1, 9-1. Indiana has defeated Florida International.
Oh my
Their
goodness!
coach got fired today.
That
Tom
was
Herman.
Florida.
Western
that
Illinois.
was Florida Atlantic.
Huh?
That was Florida
No,
Atlantic.
it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
UCLA, big win. Won against Charlotte, beat Maryland, Northwestern, Nebraska, Washington, Michigan State, and Michigan. They have Ohio State and then Purdue.
Well, they'll beat Purdue because Purdue's god-awful.
The Big Ten will get at least 3 teams in the college football playoff.
At least 2.
And Indiana could make it 4 with a competitive
Is
showing.
it the top 5?
Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, right now are all in.
Right.
You said they'll get 3. I say 4. I think they got a great look at.
If
4.
Indiana loses, they're not. They're not.
If
in.
Ohio State loses, they're in trouble.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
That'd be their second loss.
Georgia has 2 losses. Alabama has 2 losses. Everybody has 2 losses. Ohio State loses to 2 undefeated teams. They're in.
Now, I don't necessarily see it that way.
Trust me.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. There isn't just this litany of 1 and 0 loss teams out
Right
there.
now in the SEC, you've got Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, all 8-2 or better. You could,
and I don't think all of them are getting
4 of
in.
those are in.
So now you have 8 out of the Big
Right,
Ten.
this is going to be basically
and
a Big
SEC.
Ten SEC challenge. 1 from the Big 12, Boise State,
Notre Dame.
and 1 from the ACC. That's what it's going to be, my friend. And for you to think otherwise is disingenuous.
Well, what are the rankings right now?
The ACC right now, SMU.
I don't care about the ACC.
Well, they're going to get a team in,
Yeah, great.
and right now it's SMU. So you'd have
No, it's Miami.
no, it's SMU.
No, literally, it's Miami. They put these rankings out every week.
Right now, I predict SMU.
Well, you can predict whatever you want, but the rankings show differently.
Well, I don't care about Miami. They've lost the game.
So is SMU.
No, they have not. Or have they? Yeah, they lost the game.
Right.
Who'd they lose to?
I don't know.
Well, why don't you
I
know?
don't follow the Pony Express the way I did back in the 70s.
Well, they're certainly worth following. I don't understand it.
I don't think it's for you to understand. I think it might be above your head.
Miami, who'd they lose to?
Miami lost to Georgia Tech.
That's a terrible loss. Would you
sorry.
at least agree to that?
It's not a great loss. I don't know that I'd classify it as terrible. Georgia Tech is not terrible. Georgia
not
Tech
very
is not good. Here are the top 12 right now: Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana.
Wait a minute. Start that over.
Oregon.
Okay?
And this is last week, so it will change. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana, BYU, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Miami, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia.
What'd I tell you? That's basically what I just said.
I don't know how they're keeping Boise State out.
That's 9 teams from either the Big Ten or SEC.
Will BYU drop out?
It's the National Football Title Hunt, which is exactly the way it's been designed, has become a Big Ten SEC challenge. That's what we have.
Sure, as it should be.
No, it shouldn't be.
No, those where the best teams are.
It should not be.
Those are where the best teams
It
are.
absolutely should not be that.
Of course
you
it
just
should.
said Boise State should be in.
But they're not.
You want to live in a world where Boise State, having the kind of year they're having, is not in the Big 12 or the national championship hunt?
I'm confused because I thought the top 5 conference champions all got in. Is it 4 now? And could that mean that BYU is out and Boise State is in? What if there are no Big 12 teams? Is that possible?
There will be a Big 12
But
team
is it
because
possible?
the champion goes.
No,
Yes.
I don't know.
The champion goes.
I don't.
Good grief, man.
It doesn't
The
have
4 conference champions go.
not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily.
No, that's not how it is.
It is how it is.
No, it's the top 5 or 4 ranked conference champions.
Wrong.
It doesn't have to be from.
And those are always going to be the top 4.
Unless Boise State is in that.
No, Mountain West isn't there.
Their schedule is.
SMU lost to BYU back in week 4, 18-15. So yeah, it's an SEC Big Ten challenge. Doesn't interest me. May not watch.
The 5
What do you
highest.
think about that?
So it is the 5 highest ranked conference champions. So a Big 12 team will get in, and the next 7 highest ranked teams will be in the playoff.
What'd I just tell you?
But we don't have 5 conferences, do we?
Sure we do.
No, we don't. Not in last week's rankings. So that's dumb. Why are we getting rankings that aren't reflective?
Why are you so confusing?
I'm not confusing.
You-
The rankings are confusing.
You've confused our audience.
You're supposed to pick the 5 best.
Just because they're ranked doesn't mean you pick them.
No, listen. The 5 highest ranked conference champions, they've only put out 4 in their latest
according
rankings.
to the rankings.
Right, the college football playoff rankings.
Doesn't matter.
No, the CFP people put them out.
So what?
So why would they put out rankings that aren't reflective of how
Boise
the
State
process?
will get in,
But why aren't they in now?
and one of the SEC schools will be out. That's
See-
how that's. You've confused our listening audience to
No,
the
you
point
did.
now where I had this so crystal clear.
No, the CFP confused itself by only ranking in the top 12 4 conference
I couldn't have
champions.
explained this better.
Okay, then explain it.
I'm done now.
No, explain
I'm
it.
not rehashing it.
No, we're not rehashing
Max,
it.
play it
We're
again,
clearing up the confusion that I caused, apparently.
Max,
so do
put
that.
that in one of our highlights, please.
No, I want to hear your.
I'm tired now.
explanation.
I've gotten. I'm not as sharp as I was when I explained it, but I explained it perfectly. And
Well, explain
For
it
those
again.
who were listening,
I obviously didn't get
until
it.
you muddled it.
I obviously didn't get it, so re-explain it
No,
to me.
I don't have time right now. I got to get to a
I didn't
break.
think so.
I got to get to a break here shortly.
No, we can break whenever we want.
Some key games in the Big 12 this week, including, for that conference championship berth, who's going to be in it? Colorado at Kansas. Of course, that's in Arrowhead Stadium. Right now, would you pick Kansas to win that
I
game?
don't think so, but I wouldn't. I'd think twice about it.
Aren't they rolling now?
Yeah, so is Colorado.
Don't you kind of see them in the getting a bowl bid?
I don't care if they get a bowl bid.
But isn't that where this seems to be headed?
If they do, great. If they don't, great.
I'll explain it to you during the break.
How do bowls work?
You get one if you go 500 or better.
Well, not
and
necessarily.
even at times if you don't.
Right. You got to
There's
get
not enough teams
6
for
wins is what gets you there.
them. Yeah, we'll have all that, and I'll explain it crystal
Try to
clear.
explain the college football playoff system.
5
again.
teams go, and you wish you luck.
Which 5?
5 out of one of the conferences.
Which conferences?
SEC.
You have no idea what you're doing, do you?
Beautifully explained.
Good job.
All right, time for a break, Max. I'm going to pummel this kid.
What did I do?
I'm going to throw you up in the netting here
Cool. Can I sleep there?
and do something. Tomorrow on the show, we will have a game. John Kirby from Jayhawk Slant on to talk about this KU football resurgence, which has resulted in a couple of big wins in a row. A little news to report that came across recently in the last few minutes. Tyquan Thornton, released by New England, has signed with the Chiefs practice squad, wide receiver, second-round pick of the Patriots in 2022. Hadn't gotten much done with New England, but one of those speed receivers that the Chiefs like.
Yeah, I thought when I saw that he'd been let go that maybe the Chiefs would take a flyer just because he is that downfield type of threat that they probably want more
They
of.
can't catch.
Well, he's probably not very good.
Seems
That's
to
why
be the
he's,
indication.
that's why he's on their practice squad.
Of course, what I'm reading is from critics of the Patriots who say if you're going to get cut by the Patriots, and by the way, that's another young quarterback who seems to be making some strides. That's not a very good football team yet, but Drake May looks like he's kind of, I think he's going to be okay.
The only one who isn't making strides is Caleb Williams.
Hey, he played okay yesterday.
They can't
He
score.
played better than Jordan Love did. What's happened to Jordan Love? That's my
He
question.
might be hurt. I don't know. Maybe last year was just a little bit of a mirage. I don't
I'm
know.
not ready to count out Caleb Williams. I am ready to count out the ownership and front office of the Chicago Bears. They're a joke.
What about the coaching staff?
That's what I mean. Everything.
You didn't mention them.
Well, the front office. They go into the front office.
Sometimes. Do you think their office is in the front?
Everybody has an office in the front. Well, our office is in the front of our building here at League 42. When you walk in the front door,
There's
the
usually
offices
there's
are right
probably a
there.
receptionist at the front though. You
Don't
can't just
you have a front door
can't
at
just
the
walk into-
KWCH?
we don't have a front office.
You don't have a front office. I've been there numerous times. There's that young woman or man or whomever
Oh, we kind of do
sitting-
have a front office.
sitting there at the front.
But it's hard to know what the front is. When I walk in is
Well,
a
you
different,
go into the newsroom.
is a different place than
I
where
go into the visitors area.
there's nobody
I'm
there.
sure they'd let me in the newsroom if I chose to do
we've
that.
discussed that and decided that we won't.
Wouldn't they love to add me to that arsenal?
What are you going to do?
Whatever they want me to do.
Okay, come be our assignment editor.
Well, I don't know if I want to do that.
Okay, then we'll pass.
I don't know. I think I spoke to a group at IMA today, and they're going to help support.
Be honest. Am I supposed to know what IMA is?
It's an insurance agency in downtown Wichita.
Okay.
They're huge. They got many employees, and they have a beautiful building there at the corner of Topeka, Douglas and Topeka, or Douglas and Emporia, somewhere. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
talking
get it.
They're on the north, the northwest corner.
Whatever, dude. What's your point?
My point being that now I can't remember my point.
You wouldn't talk to him.
What were we talking about before that?
I don't know.
Well, what were we talking about? You. Here's what you do.
Front offices.
Yeah.
Channel 12.
Nah, that doesn't seem to ring a bell.
Being an assignment editor, me keeping you out of the newsroom,
Doesn't seem to ring a bell.
and then you wouldn't talk to
Oh.
IMA.
I told them that, back in the day I worked at the Wichita Eagle, And it seems like that was so long ago and another lifetime ago. And I did it for 43 years. How can it be so long ago? How can it be?
A lot has happened. It's like a post-COVID, pre-COVID thing.
How can it be like another life?
That's what I'm telling you. Did you like my mention of you in the Friday Five?
Didn't see it. What'd you say?
What? I said you wrote that article about Garden Plain and Beloit and then went on to live a reclusive and an anonymous life.
Really?
Yeah.
Why get mean on me?
That wasn't mean.
Well, I as I told these people, my nature is to be. What is it when you're not outgoing? You're
Reclusive, you're a hermit.
no. What's the word for it?
Reclusive.
I'm not. I don't think I'm reclusive. What's the word for it, man?
I don't know. I tried to tell you.
I don't know why you can't figure it out. The
Secluded.
only reason I work with you is when I have these very occasional lapses. I want you to be able
I
to.
gave you the word.
Yeah, I'm a little more
Insulated.
inhibited. I'll say that.
Not even close.
But when I get on this radio show, or when I get in front of a group to speak, I kind of feel the need to have this other part of my personality take over. You know what I'm saying?
Here's from Oxford Languages. Yeah, sure.
No, I mean, really, do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. Reserved?
No.
Introverted?
There you go. I'm more of an introvert.
Withdrawn?
No, I said the word.
Antisocial? Aloof?
I'm more introverted than I am extroverted.
Misanthropic?
Shut up or I am going to kill you. I swear.
Okay.
At some point, you just don't care anymore. And
Reticent?
But introverted. So, yeah, I am. I am introverted.
Okay.
But I'm able
one's-
to turn it on.
Yeah, that's what we're all doing here.
You barely.
No, I turn it on. This is me on.
This is barely. I mean, you're like, you might be turned on, but I'm hitting the table, trying to get a reaction.
Well, just don't blow.
Did that come across?
Just don't blow in me.
You know how you turn something on and it
Hey, let me
doesn't
get my lines out, dog.
and it doesn't come on, and you
Sure.
hit it until it comes on. What'd you say that you thought was good?
It's too late now, man.
Why are you using dog and man?
I don't know. Because my daughter just came through and I'm feeling young again,
Is
I
that
guess.
what she says?
She says, bruh.
She does?
Yeah. It's annoying.
Well, that's just
And dog.
unacceptable.
She says dog.
She says dog?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
She is like,
Aaron.
she's like any meme or reel or TikTok thing you've ever seen. She's that. She's a stereotype. But we'll break her of those habits.
Well, I'm just shocked.
Why?
I didn't think she'd succumb to that.
Of course she did. Of course she did.
I've never been that guy or that person that used that hip language. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
No, really. Have you ever heard me do it?
No.
I'm not like Jim Rome, dude, and
He's from Cali.
bro, and I don't care where you're from.
You should. We all have dialects and
Here's what I
what's the
say
word
to somebody.
What's the word I'm thinking of?
Habits.
No.
Here's what I say to somebody. Hello, sir. How are you today? Not, hey, dog, what's up?
Colloquialisms.
What's up, dog?
What's up, dog?
Nobody does. That is the
No,
most...
it's not used like that. It's like more like exasperated. Like, come on, dog.
Really?
Yeah.
And,
Dog.
and you know what?
Dog, seriously?
You know what an idiot is?
Uh-uh.
Somebody who would say that.
You're calling my daughter an idiot.
I'd have to hear it first.
Well, I'm telling you.
I'm not calling her an idiot, but it's obvious she's gotten that from you,
No.
and I just don't agree with it.
I don't think she got it from me.
I wish
to see
you
what
guys
else.
would clean that up. By the way, I'm looking forward to this tomorrow night. The Cavaliers and the Celtics
It's a big one.
Cavaliers 15-0. That's amazing. That's pretty cool.
It is
Boston
very cool.
with the second best record in the East at 11-3. This one being played in Boston. You know who else is kind of surprising me?
Memphis.
How about the Houston Rockets? 10-4.
They're a good young team.
Freddie Van Vliet.
And you know what they have?
They have Freddie Van
They have
Vliet.
trade chips.
Is Fred Van Vliet a trade chip?
No, I wouldn't think
Why
so.
would you trade him?
No, I don't think he is. But I think they have draft picks and young players, and they can go get a superstar. Giannis.
Well, go to Houston.
Me?
No, I like Houston. I like the Rockets. That's a team I have some history with, if you'll remember.
Elvin Hayes.
Right, the Big E. And Hakeem and Clyde. And
Yeah, when they won, you liked him. We get it.
No, I like those players. I told you, with the NBA, it's all about players.
Okay, well, the greatest players. I mean, I'm not hearing you like Jamal Mashburn.
Sure, I like the best players. What's wrong with
I
that?
mean, that's just easy.
I like the Celtics when they had Larry Bird and Kevin McHale. And,
of course, it's
and
easy
that
to like
crew.
all the best.
I like the
Why
Warriors.
didn't you like Dana
because-
Barros?
I like the Warriors because they have friends of our show.
Why didn't you like Malik Sealy? God rest his soul. I liked him.
I don't mind him.
And Bobby Phil.
You know, I like the Knicks when they had
the best players.
Willis Reed and Clyde Frazier and Earl Monroe and Dave Stallworth. Dave Stallworth was the hook to the Knicks.
Well, I like the Mavericks when they had Jason Kidd and Jimmy Jackson and Jamal
Well, how
Mashburn.
about- I like the Washington Bullets. That's what they were called at the time. When Dave Stallworth got traded over there, they didn't have a very good team. They had Kevin Greavy and Wesley Unseld.
I like the Denver Nuggets when they had Jalen Rose and Antonio McDyess.
No, you didn't. I never heard you say a word about him.
You never heard me say a word about
No,
Jalen.
Never heard it.
Remember when he came to Wichita twice?
Does he have a show now with the guy he did the show on ESPN with?
No.
Well, this morning I was rattling around with my phone, and that show came on. What's it called?
Jalen and Jacoby?
And they said, give the people what I don't know how I got it on my phone.
Huh.
You sure they don't have
I
that?
thought Jalen did a different podcast.
Are you sure they don't have that show?
I didn't
Came
think
up
so.
on my phone
Huh?
at 2:30 in the morning.
What
as
are you
I'm
doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. At 70, you rarely know what you're doing. But I tell you what, I had my phone out. Oh, I was doing Wordle. I do Wordle now when I wake up in the middle of the night.
I don't think they are together anymore. Anyway, continue.
And as I was fumbling around, give the people, you know.
Got to get a people.
Right, that came up on my phone.
Jalen, he's the man.
Are you sure they don't have that
It
show?
ended in 2022.
Why did I have it?
That's a hard
Look into
question
that.
to answer.
That was very disconcerting. And I wasn't dreaming it. It actually happened.
Well,
All
they
right,
haven't-
that's it for a Monday. Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate our guests. Tim Fitzgerald from GoPowerCat.com. Bueller coach Steve Warner. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.